Welcome back. It's exhilarating to rediscover what our strengths are. Most people don't see themselves as geniuses because they never have really given much thought to what their talents are. And to make matters worse, they are often trying to strengthen their weaknesses instead of further develop and utilize their strengths. These factors keep people from expressing their true talents. It's time to take out the worksheet, what gets in the way of expressing your talents. Take 2 minutes to brainstorm and write down what you believe are some of your biggest barriers that get in the way of expressing your talents. Then return to this lesson. Got it? Good. One of the biggest reasons talents and strengths don't get expressed is because they have a tendency to focus on the negative things happening in their lives instead of the positive. Self-help expert Susan Jeffers once said, "We have been taught to believe that negative equals realistic and positive equals unrealistic. Unfortunately, we have grown up in a culture that focuses on what people are doing wrong rather than what they're doing right." Recent research by the Gallup organization revealed that if a student came home with a report card that showed an A in one class and an F in another, that 77% of parents focus on the F grade first, 7 on the A first. This isn't to say that parents should ignore the F, but why not start with a positive focus on the A before working on the strategies for improving the F? Society has us focus on the negative instead of the positive. For example, think back to a performance review you received on the job. Did it feel like your weaknesses were being highlighted more than your strengths? The truth is that your weaknesses will only marginally improve, and was illustrated in the rabbit story earlier. That improvement will require a great deal of effort. But when it comes to your talents, you can experience exponential growth and improvement. Sure, developing your talents still takes effort, but it does not feel like effort. That's because when you're using your strengths, the results come easily. You have the greatest potential for success when you express and use your talents. You will experience more fulfillment, not by trying to strengthen weaknesses, but instead by expressing and improving upon your talents. Debbie Fields, the founder of Mrs. Fields Cookies and the author of several cookbooks, once said, "What I wanted was to be allowed to do the thing in the world that I did best, which I believed then and believe now is the greatest privilege there is. When I did this, success found me." Discovering your talents is critical to your success. But how can you recognize them and know when you're using them? It's time to look at worksheet dominant versus non-dominant hand. We're going to do a little experiment. Use your dominant hand to write your name 5 times in a row. Then use your non-dominant hand to write your name 5 times in a row. Then return to this module. How was the experiment? Take a look at your handwriting. Your talents are like the hand which you naturally write. They help you do a task in an efficient way and with acceptable and often extraordinary results. You don't have to think or concentrate nearly as much when using your talents because it feels almost second nature to you. Your talents help you produce consistency and higher quality results from the efforts you expand. And you know what results you can expect from that effort. When you are successfully doing an activity, you feel a sense of strength and power. A primary way to identify your talent is to focus on how you feel when you're doing any activity. Specifically, if you feel good, you are using your talents. Going forward, pay attention to how various activities make you feel. If you feel strong, you know there's a talent in use, and stop at that moment and try to identify what it is. Great work, my friends. You're doing amazingly well. I want you to take your time, and when you're ready, we'll test for strengths in the next lesson.